This has me far more worried than Saliba to Madrid links. Al Nassr are planning an ambitious summer bid for Gabriel Magalhaes and have already made an initial approach to the player. Arsenal are unlikely to even consider offers for under €100 million, and the club's firm preference is for him to extend his contract. But apparently Al Nassr are prepared to offer him a salary in the region of €20 million, around 3 times his current Arsenal package, and tax-free. So given half of his salary is taxed here, basically 6 times what he's currently earning. Gabriel is solely focused on Arsenal's end of the season, but is understood to be open to heading to Saudi Arabia at some point in his career. And look, it's not the first time. At the start of the 23-24 season, his head was turned by them. He wasn't playing for Arsenal at the start of that season, and that wouldn't have happened. Arteta wouldn't have dropped him if his head hadn't been turned. If it was just an open and shut, no, I'm not going. And you can't blame him. That sort of money is unbelievable. He's been here for 2 years since. We've not won anything. He's 27 at this point. His current contract expires in 2027. He might be looking at it thinking, how many more opportunities will I get to take this sort of deal? Like, it is an unfortunate reality. I'd love to sit here and say, he's going to stay. Of course he's going to stay. And I do think there will be a big part of him that will be like, look, I've come through this whole process with Arteta. I've grown, the club has grown, and we're on the verge. We are on the verge of winning big. It's a tough decision, and I am a little bit worried.
100 million? Look, I love Gabriel. He has been maybe our best player this entire season. But for 100 million, I would sell. I would go and invest that money in Alexander Isak and try and win this league. I believe Arsenal can, with the right signings in the summer. It's very important. I believe it's harder to find an Isak than it is to find a Gabriel. I believe that striker in the market is gone. But centre-backs, you're better off trying to replace Gabriel than you are trying to replace Alexander Isak. If they want to give 100 million, I'm taking it.
So, Gabriel Magalhaes is being linked to Saudi Pro League, to be specific, Al Nassr. Al Nassr has showed their interest in Gabriel Magalhaes. And before that, I just want to react to the last video that we've just watched of this Arsenal fan saying that he will let Gabriel Magalhaes join Saudi Pro League for $100 million in order for him to bring Alexander Isak, which he thinks that will help Arsenal win the Premier League. So this is just a simple calculation. Letting one of the best defenders join Saudi Pro League, Al Nassr, for you to bring in one of the best strikers. I don't think this is a brilliant idea, because letting a defender go for you to bring in a striker, like who's going to defend these goals? Or you just Arsenal currently the main problem that have been making Arsenal not win the league, not win the UEFA Champions League, not win the FA Cup, it's a striker. And it's quite clear Arsenal always looking for a new striker. But letting a defender join another club, one of the best defenders in the Premier League right now, Gabriel Magalhaes, to join Al Nassr in order for you to bring in a striker, it's like you are creating another problem on top of another problem. I think letting Gabriel Magalhaes join Saudi Pro League for Arsenal to bring in Alexander Isak, I think it's basically creating another problem when you think that you are trying to solve another problem. Because Arsenal currently don't have a striker. But that doesn't mean that for Arsenal to get a striker, they need to let a defender go. Or that doesn't mean that for Arsenal to get a striker, they need to let one midfielder join another club. Or that means that for Arsenal to get one little striker, they need to let the like of Raya. It's like you're trying to tell me that for Arsenal to sign maybe Lamine Yamal, they have to let Raya go. I think that's a creepy deal, and it's never going to work for Arsenal, because you can bring in the likes of Lamine Yamal, but when you don't have a defender like Gabriel Magalhaes, the club is nowhere. The club is no more. And Arsenal currently are on I think Arsenal currently are on a trying time, because Saliba is being linked with Real Madrid. Gabriel Magalhaes is right now being linked with Saudi Pro League for $100 million. And it's a really trying time for Arsenal, because when you look at the club, they need that money to get another brilliant striker, but they don't want to let a defender like Gabriel Magalhaes join another club for them to bring in Alexander Isak. And I think this Saudi Pro League, with these monies that they always offers players, they always make these big leagues like EPL, La Liga, and Bundesliga looks like, it's not making sense. But I'll talk about that one. But before that, let's see this Gabriel Magalhaes deal, because I think talking as a football fan, I think that's not a good deal, because letting Gabriel Magalhaes join Saudi Pro League Al Nassr for $100 million for in order for Arsenal to bring in a striker like Alexander Isak, I think this is not going to make sense, because to me it's like creating another problem when you think that you are trying to solve another problem, because uh, it will reach at a point that Arsenal has all the little strikers in the world, but then you don't have a defender. It's like, you have to create a complete club, and when you are creating a complete club, you don't let players like Magalhaes join Saudi, you don't let players like Saliba join Real Madrid, and this are really trying time for Arsenal, because they really need that money, but then letting Gabriel go, it's like creating one of the biggest problems that Arsenal will never solve. I think, talking as a football fan, I think I wouldn't do that, because I can't let Gabriel Magalhaes go. Especially Gabriel Magalhaes has been the backbone of Arsenal defense. Leave alone Saliba. Saliba have been getting a lot of credits, but I think one person that always cover up for Saliba and a lot of people doesn't give him a lot of credit is Gabriel Magalhaes. If you want to know this, just let Gabriel Magalhaes join Saudi Pro League, and then leave Saliba, and maybe bring in another defender. That's when you'll see that Gabriel Magalhaes is the player that have been helping Arsenal in their defense. That's when you will see that Gabriel Magalhaes has been covering up a lot of mistakes for Saliba, because lately they won against Chelsea, but then uh, lately I've not been enjoying watching Saliba playing as I did in the last season. I've always enjoyed Gabriel Magalhaes playing, because he plays with determination. He plays with he's ambitious in the game. He always play. He's always focused than Saliba is. If you ask me, I know a lot of people are going to disagree with this one, but if you ask me, I think Gabriel Magalhaes has been doing a lot in the backline of Arsenal compared to Saliba. I know a lot of people have been giving Saliba a lot of credit, comparing him to the likes of Van Dijk. And this is like a situation of Sergio Ramos and Varane when they are playing for Real Madrid. A lot of people were giving Ramos a lot of credit, forgetting his partner Varane. And Varane was always the player that, and I wouldn't say that Varane was that bigger than Ramos. Of course, Ramos was one of the best defenders at that time. But then without Varane, Ramos would have not been the Ramos that made all those history, that scored over 100 goals in La Liga. If Arsenal wants to continue with their Netflix episodes all season, all day long, let Gabriel Magalhaes to join Al Nassr. They will get that $100 million, but then after that, it will come with a lot of troubles, because, and I think this is quite a tempting deal for not only Arsenal but also Gabriel Magalhaes, because apart from that 100 million salary, apart from that 100 million that they're giving Arsenal, they are also offering Gabriel Magalhaes, I think, two times salary that he has been receiving at Arsenal. So it's quite an tempting offer for Gabriel Magalhaes. And I think let me talk about this Saudi Pro League. I think Saudi Pro League has been messing up with these big leagues, because you always see like these players. Saudi Pro League always wants every good player in the Premier League, always wants every good player in La Liga, Bundesliga, Serie A. They always want all these good players, and the risky thing about this Saudi Pro League is that they're always ready to spend any money to get the players that they want. If the player is willing to join them, they're always ready to spend any money to get the player. I remember back then they were linked with Kevin De Bruyne, and they offered Kevin De Bruyne like quite a crazy amount of money. And I feel like I would have advised Kevin De Bruyne to join Saudi Pro League, because Kevin De Bruyne is one of the players that have been getting a lot of critics of late in Manchester City squad. I think when you watch, they played against Liverpool or what? Yeah, I think they played against Liverpool, and Man City fans and sports fans really criticized him, said that it's time for him to join Saudi Pro League. So I think he would have done it earlier. It would have been at least better. Look at player like John Duran. I think John Duran really messed. At some point, I felt like he messed his career. At some point, it was a good deal. Why am I saying this? It was a good deal because the money that Saudi Pro League is offering him is quite a big amount of money. And at some point, I'm saying this, he messed his career because he was still young. He was still like has a lot to do in the Premier League, not only in the Premier League, but maybe in Europe, in La Liga, maybe Bundesliga. It would have made sense. But I feel like maybe he would have helped Aston Villa win maybe one trophy, maybe for him to get credits for his name, and after that maybe join Saudi Pro League. I think it would be a bit better. But then this Saudi Pro League, even like when you check recently, they offered Vini Jr. some crazy amount of money. So Saudi Pro League, I feel like, to me, to be honest, I feel like Saudi Pro League is always like Saudi Pro League is lack of a better word. I think Saudi Pro League is making Premier League, La Liga, and Bundesliga look stupid, because every good player that a lot of people are hoping to watch many years in the Premier League, or maybe La Liga, or maybe Bundesliga, maybe he shines 1 or 2, 3 seasons. You hear the links from Saudi Pro League. And the last thing, tell me what you think about these Saudi Pro League deals in the comment section, because I feel like this Saudi Pro League deals is spoiling Premier League, La Liga, and the Bundesliga with these big monies that they are offering these players. So tell me what you think about them in the comment section. And the last thing, don't forget to subscribe to my YouTube channel, like, and share this video.